Rise and shine, my blossoming beauties, and welcome to part 5 of the LGBT flags makeup series for 2022. Next up, we're going to be doing the gender fluid flag. So if you want to know how to get this gender fluid inspired look, just keep on watching. So first I'm going to start with my lasting finish primer. And I'm going to just sort of like put about like a, not a 5-cent piece size. Just put a bit of it on my fingers and I'm just going to rub it all over my face. Next, I'm going to take my foundation by Maybelline, and I'm going to do a swish on both sides of my cheeks, one on my forehead, and then one on my neck. So 4 switches in total and squirts, and then I'll just take my beauty blender and then blend it all in. Next, I'm going to take my concealer by Revlon, and then I'm going to apply 3 dots on each bag, put a stroke on my nose, and then just apply it to several other areas of my face. And then I'll take my beauty blender, and using the pointier end, I'm going to use that to blend it in. Now I'm going to take my powder foundation by BYS, and taking a big fluffy brush, I'm going to use this as my setting powder. So I'm going to do swirling motions all over my face, and as well as my neck. Now I'm going to take my eye primer by Revlon, and I'm going to apply it all over my eyelids, and then I'll take my beauty blender and then blend it in. Now I'll dip into my magnifies palette and taking a fluffy brush, I'm going to take that black shade and I'm going to apply that to the outer corners of my eyes, as using it as the base. As well as dipping into the shade again a little bit more, as well as using it to fan out the black. Now I'll go into my Wahala 2 palette, and taking that dark blue shade, I'm going to blend that with the black. Then I'll take that lighter blue shade, and I'm going to apply that closer to my eyelids. Now I'll go into my Nubian Royal palette, taking that purple shade, I'm going to blend that with the black in the middle section of my outer regions of my eyes. Then I'll take that lighter shade, and I'm going to apply that and blend it with the darker shade of purple, as well as applying it slightly closer to the inner corners. Then I'll go back into my Wahala 2 palette, and taking that white shade, taking a small brush, I'm going to just pack that on the middle, the center of my eyelids. Then I'll take that pink shade, and I'm going to apply that in the inner corners. Then I'll go into my Pure Imagination palette, and taking this metallic pink shade, I'm going to apply that in the dead center of my eyelids. I mean, the direct inner corner, sorry. Now I'll go into my eyeliner. I'm going to take my eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to underline my lower lashes. Now I'll go into my liquid eyeliner, and I'm going to have my face flat, just very neutral, and I'm going to apply the wings sort of horizontally for a bit, and then when I apply the actual the thicker part of the wing, I'm going to draw from the wing down to the eyelids. Now I'll take my eyelash curler, and I'm going to press down on the upper lashes for a few seconds, and then I'll take my mascara, and then I'm going to roll the wand on top of the lashes for my upper lashes, and then for my lower lashes, I'm going to set them on top and then roll downwards. Then I'll take an angled brush, and taking that brown shade in my Wahala 2 palette, I'm going to use that to fill in my brows. So I'm going to leave the a third of it blank for like the that's closer to my nose, just that way I can blend it out with a brush as well as a beauty blender. Now I'll go to my contour, and I couldn't find my angled brush at that moment, but it was alright. So I'm going to start applying it, going backwards and forward motions. That's close to the to my cheekbone, and then when I dip into the contour again, I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna brush over that area I applied it to, as well as applying it to other areas of my face to fade it out more. Now I'll go into my pink face paint, and taking some water and a different brush to activate the paint. I'm going to start drawing on the drips. So I'm just gonna, so you can add as many drips as you want. I'm just gonna start tracing on some lines, and then sort of like drawing like triangle-esque type of thing. So it's like once I've applied the line, I'm going to draw upward a bit to give it more depth for some of the strokes. I'm going to also just draw on some circles as well as like teardrop shape stuff. So you can add as many pink strokes and pink drips as you want. Next, I'll start taking some white face paint. And I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to add some white strokes and white drips now. So yeah. Now I'll do the same thing again, except this time with purple. Now I'm going to go in with blackface paint and continue the process. Now I'm going to go over it again, but this time, and finally, in blue. Now I'll take my translucent setting powder, and taking the same fluffy brush, I'm going to set all the paint with the powder. Now I'll take my highlighter palette, and taking a smaller fluffy brush, I'm going to take the lightest shade and apply it on the bridge of my nose, as well as the center of my nose. Then I'll take that darker shade and apply it to my chin, and I'm going to take the middle shade and I'll sort of apply it on my cheeks. For my lipstick, I'm going to be using this purple shade, so I'm just going to use that to fill it in. Then I'll take my setting spray, and then the look will be complete. And you're done. Your gender fluid flag inspired look is now complete. So this concludes my gender fluid makeup tutorial. I'll see you when I do the 6th and final look for this month.